job interview on Thursday for a content writer analyst position. I'm pretty excited for, so I'll have to see how that pans out.
Whoa,
Oh,
start from the beginning.
congratulations.
That sounds amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was the beginning.
Oh. No, it cut off. It said, I heard a content writer, then everything you said after, but I'm guessing
Yeah.
you just applying for a new job.
Yeah, I have an interview on Thursday, so we'll see how it goes.
Swag, dude.
Very cool.
Sounds like a freaking great time, honestly. But now it's time for D&D.
All
Mm-hmm.
right.
Most important meal of the day.
Dinner and dinner?
Exactly.
Mmm,
You can't have your
delicious.
dungeons without your side of dragons.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
I'm really bad with names, so Ryan.
Yep.
Yay, remember Dylan. Good.
Now all that we require is the man, the legend himself, our resident man of the hour, the Florida man.
Florida man, take me by the hand.
Lead me into somewhere, hopefully, where I can.
Uh-oh. Says he can't get Discord open.
Oh. That's weird because he's
Great
right.
Scott.
Great Scott. He's writing in it right now. That's weird.
Maybe he just can't get into the audio.
Oh, to the audio bit, you mean? Discord does often require a good restart every now and again. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie. It is finicky at best. Which is quite unfortunate because it's a lot better than Skype.
It's got more
Oh,
memory
yes.
leaks than a dementia ward sometimes, I swear.
What is a memory leak? I don't know why that's so bad. I don't know why it's a bad thing.
Basically, it's when an app or like a task like starts occupying a significant amount of your RAM and slows things down. They've gotten better with it over the years. Google Chrome's really bad with it nowadays, but basically a process starts and it just keeps repeating and it won't end, so that it ends up sucking up a bunch of your RAM and slowing your computer down.
Damn. I like that RAM though. Why is it eating up all my RAM?
Because it's like, oh, we got to get this done. We need more computing power to finish this. Come on, keep going, keep going, keep going. Oh, we need more. We need more. We're not done. We need more. And then it just keeps happening.
Please, sir, I'd like some more.
Sounds like a good time, honestly. Honestly, if you could have more RAM, why wouldn't you just take it?
Exactly.
RAM is a good food, dude. It's an important part of any balanced diet.
It's also important if you want.
Up. Hold on. Tim, can you say that again?
I think he might have cut out.
Okay, so it wasn't me then.
Well, it looks like I got disconnected there for a second, but
No worries.
I'm assuming I'm back now.
Yes, you're back. You said it's all you said you were talking about RAM. You said it's also important that, and then it cut out.
Oh yeah, it was just a dumb joke about how you need a RAM for having sheep.
Whoa, wait, that's a male sheep is a ram?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know. Amazing.
Well, what do you call a male goat? Because I just thought they were goats.
Um,
All of them goats.
that's a good question, honestly. I know a cow is there's a steer, and then there's a cow,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's a
Steer or bull.
yeah.
Well, bull can be out for a lot of different animals.
Oh wait, no, is steer like the sort of universal name for like that group of animal? and then there's the bull, and then there's the cow. I'm pretty sure that's
I
it.
wouldn't be able to tell you honestly.
I'm not. You're not caught up on your cow facts.
I think
On your,
a steer is
No.
a castrated bull.
Oh, is it?
oh yeah, I think that's right. Yeah. Oh shit! It
Hello.
is. Oh shit! It's Scotty.
Got it to work.
Great Scott.
Great Scott T.
Yeah, I try. Thanks.
I'm glad to have you, Scotty.
You try and succeed, Scotty. We couldn't do this without you, Scotty. I hope you know that.
Well, it's nice to contribute.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry. El Corona is slowly making its way through my town, which is always lovely.
Mm.
Yeah, my job was like, if you're sick, don't come in. And then I guarantee if I called and was like, I'm sick, they'd be like, we kind of need you today.
My job is a little bit nicer about it, I guess. They kind of just like, I was away for like 3 days, and they were just like, oh yeah, focus on getting better. But I don't know, like there's this deep anxiety in the back of my brain. It's just like shit. What if I walk in there one day and they're just like, we kind of replaced you. So sorry about that.
Yeah.
Here's your 401k money.
Yeah, one time I left the store for an hour because I had to leave to pick up something from another store and bring it.
They fired.
And in
Oh,
that
no.
time, we got like 4 customer complaints. And I was like, guys, I was gone for an hour, and you have 2 customers trying to fight you right now.
Like that community gif where
Yeah.
Donald Glover's coming in the door with the pizza and everything's on fire.
Pretty much.
That sounds fucking hilarious, honestly.
I literally got a call as I was pulling into the thing, and they were like, Twitch, which I work at a place where everyone has names that aren't their actual name, but they're like, Twitch, Django's trying to fight a guy, and the line's really long, and we're out of everything, and we kind of need you. And I'm like, well, good thing I'm back, I guess. I walk in carrying like 80 boxes, and everyone in the store turns and looks at me, and I'm like, what the hell?
um, my job does this interesting thing. I think I mean this is kind of a conspiracy, I guess. But like I think it's honestly true. Like they hire people who they know they're gonna fire like soon, literally just so they don't have to like give them tenure, but they need that position filled. Like
Uh-huh.
I have no confirmation of this whatsoever, but it just makes so much sense in my head. I don't know. Like doesn't that make sense? Where it's like if you wanted to save like all that, like if let's say you have a job that offers a lot of benefits, right? And you don't want to, and it all requires tenure. Like you don't want to hire anyone who's competent because that means that you'll just have those positions filled. Well, wouldn't you rather have them filled all the time by just like cycling out incompetent people rather than just having to give somebody who's actually good at shit, like tenure and benefits and everything?
Yeah, I mean, I worked at theme parks, and they cycle through seasonal employees because the laws around seasonal employees are a lot more lax than the laws around full-time employees.
Yep.
So there will be like 3 full-time employees and like 30 seasonal employees in every department. And the full-time employees are basically just there so they can train the seasonal employees, the constant rotation of them.
Yeah, and it's just like always hell because like you're always having to do that, and the training usually never even sticks because
Hmm.
they're just
Because
like,
they're like, I'm going to be gone in 3 months anyway.
yeah, exactly. I don't
And you
even give
try
a
to
fuck.
discipline them, and you're like, well, you're halfway to being fired. They're like, yeah, but I've been here for 2 weeks,
I don't give a shit.
and I don't plan on staying for more than 2 weeks. I already got my free tickets, so I'm out. Like, there was like a 30-day threshold. You had to work for a month, and then your free tickets would get unlocked. And the amount of people who would work for a month and then never appear again to any of their shifts, well, I mean, it was a large amount. It was many.
Yeah, I think I'm onto something there. All right, let's play some Dungeons and Dragons. How about that, gentlemen? That's
All
what we came
right.
here for.
I cast Eldritch Blast.
Do you? Are you sure you want
Yeah.
to cast something else?
Nope, that's all I can do. I'm a warlock.
Jesus. Listen, warlocks are alright, man. All right.
I
So,
forget what invocations I got. Oh, never mind. I'm good. I looked at my character sheet.
all right, boys. All right, boys. Now's the time.
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain.
Hold on. Let
I
me
can't
actually.
hear you.
Aye, Captain.
At the poker tables is actually this like I play poker like fairly often in like this local circuit or at this local what is it called it's called it's basically just a group of people who play poker but like they're in line with like this national sort of organization that sends people to Vegas.
Poker League?
Yeah, exactly, thank you. So and there's this guy who he's so freaking cool. He's like 70 years old and he's like a captain of an actual ship. And I don't know his name, but everybody just calls him Captain. He's a really cool dude. He got hit with Agent Orange back in Vietnam and got cancer,
Really?
and he
Jesus.
actually survived.
That's nuts.
That is nuts. He's a freaking mad lad, certified mad lad. But
Only
anyway,
the strongest of people can be named for like their title. So,
exactly. He also like teaches people how to sail,
ooh, cool.
which is
Makes
really sweet.
sense.
All right, so you guys are in the process of setting up your masterfully planned trap to lure the manticore into a nearby cave, which you found with a successful investigation check. Lauren has the elf who had you had previously had a bit of a scuffle with, who is trying to get in your good graces because he doesn't see any nefariousness behind you as of yet. He is he's noticed also that there seems to be something amiss with the nearby woods, and he's willing to lend you his services as a huntsman. I should also reveal that he is actually somewhat specialized in hunting beasts of that kind, or rather of that nature, monstrosities more specifically. And I mean, if you will have him, then he is more than willing to help you slay any great evil beast that wanders in these nearby wilderness.
Well, he's offering his services for free of charge. So, personally, I cannot refuse free labor. I'm already forgetting his name though.
Uh, his name is Ilorin. I will type it in the chat right now.
Okay.
That is an I, and the two letters after it are L's.
Okay, and he's an elf.
He's a wood elf, yes.
What
Which
else?
is
Okay.
which is definitely queer. I'd say wood elves are definitely not. There's no known community of wood elves around these parts, so
Rare. Okay then. Well, for this beast, we have the bait. Now we just need to set the trap.
All right. Eloran's going to comment on the jar of blood that you have. He's going to say, "Ah, blood. Wise. The sense of smell in these creatures is quite keen, especially to human suffering and spilt blood." Besides that, though, he's going to, remark on the place.
Those are fucking cookies.
Oh.
You don't care what kind of.
Yo, who's got cookies? I'll take cookies.
No, my girlfriend, my roommate are going to get cookies. No, get whatever cookies you want, babe. Okay,
Yo,
love you.
yo,
Tell them I said hi.
pass me some. Nah, pass me some cookies. Dead ass. I'll give you my
But if
address right now.
Yeah, mail you some cookies.
Yeah.
Hey
Yeah.
Austin.
Yes, sir.
I'm on your Twitch. You're still showing the like video game stuff. Were you gonna put us on later or?
What happened?
I'm on your Twitch channel. You're still in your like streaming the, I don't know, that World War II game or something.
Oh, I might be. I'm live. That is weird. Hold on. Hold on. I know I'm hosting somebody, so.
I think you You might be watching a VOD because he's live with the mini map on my screen. Just pulled it up.
You know what? That's exactly what's happening.
There you go.
Fair. You,
Okay.
you had me
There
going
you-
there for a second. Jeez, I was like, shit. I did click the button, didn't I?
Okay, good. Good.
No, no
All right.
worries. Thanks for looking out though. I appreciate that.
No worries.
All right. So, are you ready to lure the beast and spring the trap? Hopefully.
I believe so. I'm gonna look to everyone else. Like, I know how I said maybe we should have minor illusion. I have a different idea. I am not sneaky in the least bit. I'm willing to sacrifice myself for the greater good. The greater good. And I'm gonna start just like kind of. I'll suggest. What if I cover me in blood? Because I'm pretty hardy. He might not hit me, but he also might. I'm just throwing out ideas here.
That sounds rather risky.
Well, are we in like a? What's the foliage like? Is there anywhere where we might be able to hide while we have this trap set?
Oh yeah, I mean there's scattered foliage. Some areas light, some areas dense. You can just pop a squat in the dense areas probably.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's not nearly bad then. Okay then. Well, since I'm in like shiny armor, I'm gonna start like just getting dirt, just like kind of spreading it around my armor to kind of like hopefully camouflage myself a little bit better in the undergrowth.
All right, go on. Oh,
I too will hide.
Yeah, I guess that'll just be a pretty standard stealth check.
Oh, that's sleight of hand, but it's the same modifier, so I don't know if you want to use that or not.
Nah, just roll stealth. Just roll stealth. It's fine. Since I like you.
Much better.
Hooray!
I mean, I
Right.
guess it would make sense that you would be probably rolling at advantage because Lauren's there. He's wood elf. He's gonna probably help you out. I mean, you also have time too, so you know.
Right, so Marlo, you have the ability to create, like, let's say a weeping woman to kind of like so we can have like sight, smell, and sound to lure in the beast.
Yeah, one sec. I just have to make sure it's not.
No worries. Take your time. Read them spells.
Yes. Yes, you can do. Yep. Yes. Marlo is master of illusion work. He can do sight and somewhat limited sound at the same time.
Okay. Well, hopefully this cavern will act something like some kind of speaker. You ever put like? Never mind. So with that, I will just open up the jar of blood, and I'm just gonna start like, just kind of throwing it around the cavern walls, along the floor.
Who has the net?
I think I do.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you do.
Okay.
It is a martial weapon, so if you cannot use martial weapons, then you're not proficient in it.
While this is going on, I'm gonna scrounge around for a couple rocks to put in my pocket that I can throw, because I have no ranged attacks.
You got it. I guess I'll just count them as like darts that do bludgeoning damage.
Okay, sounds good.
I mean, rocks are the original weapons.
The
Oh
origi-
wait, I do have darts. I lied. I'm sorry.
Oh, you got. Oh, fair enough. Some David and Goliath action going on, literally.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the trap is set. Lauren and the rest of y'all are stealthing it up in the bushes.
Yeah, I assume you want me to make a stealth roll as well, huh?
Yeah, you can make it at advantage since Lauren's probably going to be helping you.
Oh, thank you.
He's got a good lay of the land. He can help you
Thank you,
cover
Lauren.
yourself in shrubbery and whatnot. Shrubbery is his middle name. That is a disadvantage.
Oh, that was disadvantage.
Yeah. The other roll.
No,
was a
no,
two.
that was advantage.
No,
haven't-
if it's red, then it's disadvantage.
That's weird. It's really weird.
I mean, the other roll was a 2. I mean, well, no, the other roll was a 3, so I mean,
Either way, so we'll just take the 3 then.
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Even with his help, I am just hopelessly just stuck out in the open.
You're sticking out like a sore thumb.
Yes.
All right, so
No one can see me.
you're just like glistening like a Christmas tree because of the sunbeams.
Hmm.
All
I mean,
right.
if it's that obvious, maybe I'll just like pretend to be dead, play dead.
That is the best move, I think, in
Yeah.
anybody's arsenal in this sort of situation. All right, so you spread the blood. I'm assuming you're doing the illusion right now.
Yes, he's illusion some lady, all haphazard clothes, and with the voice work, just make it real. Just pour it on like real thick, like, oh, here I am having twisted my ankle in the middle of this open field, so alone and helpless. Like, just really, like, this thing probably can't even speak a language, but needlessly dramatic, because that's how Marlowe does.
Oh, I got you. Just like, oh, woe is me,
Yes.
endless misfortunes upon my life, and into the
At,
thereafter.
at one point, just shout agony.
Exactly. Pain and agony, etc. It works. You're really selling it, kid. All right.
Oh, yeah.
So, eventually, you do start hearing the beating of leathery wings in the distance.
Oh no,
Oh,
the
shit.
beating of leathery wings in the distance. Surely all is
Oh,
lost.
whoops. Ignore
Faint.
that.
All right, I will.
I will. Alright, give me 1 second though. Let me see. Skadoosh. Let's see. Okay, that's good. No, I was saving throw. Whatever. It's the same roll. You hear a beast swoop down very speedily. That's not a word, but you know what I mean. And it's going to perch itself on with its lion-like paws, rows of jagged teeth, within a face that appears to be somewhat like a man, but definitely not one, as it has several large spines sticking out from its mane, quote unquote. A tail adorned with spikes whipping around its head. It roars out in a violent rage over at the entrance of the cave. It's right now it's perched on top of it, like at the mouth, sort of looking in. Then it catches a glimpse of your shining armor. Jesus, hold on. Connor. It catches a glimpse of your shining armor in the distance. All Lauren's kind of done. He's doing his best here. He's working with a lot less than he's normally familiar with. He's kind of just like throwing a bunch of leaves and dirt on you, hoping that for the best. But it's very obvious that there's a dragonborn in the bushes.
Mm-hmm. I will remain still, just as like I'll even hold my breath to make it seem like I might have perished protecting this illusionary woman in the cave.
That is fair enough. But anyway, it is going
Pay no
to.
attention to the glorious incandescent man in the bushes.
You got away with words.
It is going to snarl at your body and then make its way very quickly into the cave, beating its wings as to get there into it as fast as possible.
Well, I'll say once it's like maybe 10 feet in, I think that's when I'll spring up and just kind of toss the net towards it.
Let me see how long the range is on that. Because I don't, hold on, yeah, let me see. Net. Because I forget. I'm not on the right thing, hold on. Net +1. You just get to find a magic net. Okay,
Hooray!
a net's minimum range is 5 feet. So I'd say you're definitely not within 5 feet of it.
Oh. Well, if it's inside the cave, I guess I would kind of spring up, run towards within like between like 15 and 5 feet, and throw it.
I got you.
So I will approach it.
Its max range is 15, so if you want, you can do 15, and then just like you'd have to roll the disadvantage, but you know.
In that case, I'll go 10.
Okay, you got it. Sorry.
So just a straight D20.
Yes.
What the heck? Did I just do? Okay.
So it's a
My
D20.
computer's-
No, or is it is a D20 plus your strength? I believe. Yeah, it's a D20 plus your strength.
Okay. Well, I rolled an 8 plus strength. That would be 3, so 11. Would it be a It would be a ranged weapon, so I would have proficiency with that. So plus 2, so 13.
Okay. You throw with all your might, but the manticore noticing you behind it sort of does a quick sidestep. And Nani.
Yeah, that's what I say. Nani?
Perfectly timed. But it's going to roar out at you and sort of swipe its tail at you. Not necessarily to hit you, but it's sort of shoo you away. It's going to make a beeline for the screaming woman.
Well, I will call out to everyone else. It didn't work.
Did we expect it to?
Let's expect more hope.
Let me see something real quick. Skadoosh. Okay, it is freaking. What's your spell save DC? Marl?
13.
Okay, so it is right now. It is just like it's trying to gorge itself on this wounded fair maiden. Obviously, its head's just bobbing through nothing, but it hasn't quite noticed just yet.
I will. If it's distracted with the woman, I think that is the point where I will run up towards it and go with my hammer. Go for the head.
Fantastic. I'm assuming the rest of you will follow in suit.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're all running, trying to block this thing into the cave, basically, where we can actually fight it.
Gotcha.
All 3.5 feet of me. Oh, sorry, 3 feet.
You got it.
On Tinder, I'm 3.5.
Nice.
I mean, you know, everyone's got to have his angle. But all right.
Mine is very low to the ground.
You guys can all see what's going on right here, right?
I
Yeah.
see a cave, and in the cave, I can see the manticore. Yes.
Fantastic. That is exactly what I want to have happen. All right. So this is the token for Aloran right here, by the way. Let me actually show his name. There we go. Aloran's going to call out valiantly. There it be, the beast. The hunt is on.
All right. My HP is 11, although it says on my sheet it's 20.
This
Is that
token was
updated on the token?
probably, updated before that token was saved to your sheet.
I got you.
Okay,
There we go.
that's all right. Either way. Okay, lovely.
I don't know how I linked my mess kit, but in case anyone's hungry.
Excellent.
But in
Right,
case anyone's hungry. Alright. So, everything is in order. You all may roll initiative.
Make sure you select your token first.
Indeed.
Not great, but better than 1.
Let's see what Aloran rolls. Aloran is a bit of an OG. So, you know, just be warned. He may roll pretty well. I was right.
Mhm.
He will go
Nice.
first. Since, let me see something actually, because in terms of initiative ties, it does always go to the players. Last time I read. Normally they would have it to break it down by dex. Excuse me, but their dex is the same, so that resolves that. All right. So he's going to use his bonus action to cast this Hunter's Mark. And until the spell ends, I mean, we've been playing Dungeons and Dragons long enough to know what freaking Hunter's Mark does, but in layman's terms, for the boys, for everyone sitting at home, Hunter's Mark basically makes it so that Ilorin's attacks upon the creature do extra damage because he has marked it as his quarry. And it also gives him sort of bonuses when trying to track it. So, now that that's cleared up, he is going to begin his assault upon the Manticore with a fire from his longbow. A shot from his longbow. Jesus. Let me use proper English. There we go. Alright. That will hit.
Woo!
Lauren's going to begin the assault by knocking an arrow and letting it loose upon the Manticore. That arrow is going to embed itself in its upper shoulder blade. It's going to let out a snarling roar against in defiance, some might say. And it's also going to do an extra 4 damage. So that is 13 damage by Ilorin. Good way to start the combat, but now it is the Manticore's turn. Also, hold on. I almost forgot something. He also does +2 to his damage, +2, excuse me, to his damage rolls.
Sorry.
Because he's monster?
Yes, he's a monstrosity. I'll just put this right here. You just throw a piece of dried bread at a Lauren Wobbly.
Take that!
Positive reinforcement.
Yeah.
It's
Eat your
a man
starch!
style.
Now the Manticore, having been thoroughly pissed off, is going to take a perch on this rock right here. He's quite pissed off that you've interrupted his holographic meatloaf. So, yeah. So he's going to fire 3 of his tail spikes. 1 at Lauren, because fuck you, you just shot me. This is what happens to people who shoot me. Actually, hold on, I gotta... There we go. Gotta keep a track of how many tail spikes he's got. Fuck you, Lauren. That is a 1. Good way to start the combat. Normally,
Yes.
I would, Normally, if any of you were within melee range of it, I would allow you to, have an attack of opportunity because of his fumble, but, I'm just gonna continue on with his attacks.
Right.
Actually, normally I would ask the audience how we should handle his critical fail, but it's fairly quiet, so no worries. I'm just gonna continue on. This one is for you, Wobbly.
That'll do it.
That one's a bit more of a productive strike, and this next
Ouch!
one is for you, Connor.
I have 6 hit
Ooh.
points left.
That is a nat 20.
Oh no!
Natty 20, baby.
Didn't roll so great though.
Yeah, not the best roll, but you know.
Okay. Okay,
My
I'm
most
still
of me.
standing.
There is a spine protruding from Wobbly's gut through his back.
'Tis but a flesh wound.
I'm like, oh, that's gonna leave a mark.
Yeah, Lauren's just gonna do a backflip out of the way of the tail spike, and Wobbly, you're gonna get that the next tail spike right into this chest. Connor, you're going to have the unfortunate mispleasure of receiving one.
Cookies in the freezer.
Oh. Yo, they got my cookies. Aye, it's 199 Rutland Road, Hempstead. Let me just dox myself real quick.
You're a fucking monster.
All right. So Connor, you have the mispleasure of having some of your chainmail links burst apart as one of the tail spikes embeds itself right into your shoulder.
Like, I just got this.
All right, Wobbly.
So there's nowhere to take cover. I have a feeling this thing's gonna hurt a lot more up close than far away, so I will.
That's a fair assessment.
Am I within 20 feet here? If I I don't think I am. I don't know how to use the measuring tool in Roll20.
You are within 20 feet of the creature.
Okay. I'm gonna throw a dart at it. That's a nat 20.
A crit for a crit.
Ooh.
Right between the eyes, baby.
Hell yeah.
And then I'll use one of my key points to take patient defense and use the dodge action.
You're ready for anything, man. Ready
Hopefully.
for damn near anything. This is like your first time fighting one of the dragons in Skyrim, basically.
I don't have enough cheese wheels for that.
Definitely not enough. Alright, Marlowe. The beast is quite pissed off now. He is fully intent in killing you all. You can tell by its murderous intent.
I can imagine. All right. Let's start by seeing if we can get a nice fairy fire to land. So we'll place it directly on him, so none of us are in range of it. And I believe it is a. Let me click that spell. Let's see, dexterity save against DC 13. Hopefully, manticores aren't too quick.
They're a little quick, so don't be too sad if it doesn't hit. All right, here we go. Skadoosh. Ah, 15. He
Ah.
saves.
Rip. All right, that will be. That's all I can attempt this time, and then take just one step back, and that's what we'll do.
Connor, your body. I mean, the spike definitely hurt before, but your body is feeling several eruptions of adrenaline surging through your body. You are numb, but you are also extremely. I'm not gonna say angry, but you are extremely. You know what I mean. You're ready. You're ready for this.
Yes. I'm going to just move back a little bit. I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Divine Favor. So I don't know if you guys can see that.
I can see it.
So now I deal an extra 1d4 radiant on my attacks.
All right.
I'm going to take out one of my javelins and I'm going to throw it at the beast.
I'm assuming you did the prayer on your javelin.
Yeah, it's your parents.
Just says his weapon.
Oh, just
attacks.
weapon. I'll have the weapons. Yeah, I'll use it like on my javelin.
All right, that is fair.
It's just the one.
Just so you know,
Yeah.
though, it's on that javelin now. So I mean that javelin.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean it's
Oh,
fine.
yes.
I don't know if you knew that, but it's not on every single javelin you got. It's on one particular weapon.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was, but never mind. That's all right.
So
So yeah, that's a 14 to hit.
Yeah, that does hit. I guess I'm asking, like, do you also want to put the divine favor on the javelin still? Because you can still put it on your hammer.
I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep my spell slot.
You got it.
So yeah, just the javelin.
I am a merciful DM. I'm not gonna bullshit you and be like, nah, dude. You divine favored your fucking the leg of your chair, man. Come on, because you were grabbing it the last time.
Thank you.
Because honestly, I can't be fucked to memorize every other spell as well, so you know. But anyway, so that javelin is going to hit that son of a bitch. He has the misfortune of existing while that javelin hits him. Alright. Now it is Aloran's turn. Let me see. Alright. Aloran does have a couple of things that he can use. Well, not many things, but you know. Alright, so Aloran's going to move over here. Basically trying to get some flanking fire on this beast.
Okay.
Alright. Hell yeah. I like that. And 1d6 extra damage for Hunter's Mark. 4?
Well, it
4.
looks like Lauren's going to be the MVP in this.
And that is plus an additional 2. He's just doing his job, man. Oh, whoops. No, you don't look at that happening. Hold on. I accidentally pressed undo. I just wanted to make sure that I actually deducted the right amount of health. Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. Button's good. Okay. That was his main attack, so... He unfortunately doesn't have anything else he can do, so... Manticore's turn now. My lad, the Manticore, getting tired of this pussy shit, is going to charge headlong at you, Wobbly. Its rows of teeth barring.
Alrighty, his attacks have disadvantage.
You got it.
Oh, because Fairy Fire?
No, because
Because of my patient defense.
patient defense.
Okay, I didn't realize you.
So this is 1 bite.
That's gonna hit, and I have 3 hit points left. Oh, 2 hit points left.
Wonderful.
1 with a claw.
I would like to.
Ow.
I would like to use my fighting style protection. Seeing my friend just get bitten almost in half, I'm going to use my fighting style to impose double disadvantage on it.
I'm also not the kind of DM that doesn't let that happen. So I will cause him to have disadvantage plus. I mean, he already did it, so hold on, let me just roll another melee attack.
Both hit, so I
Ooh.
am unconscious and dying.
Nasty.
Now, I did...
I got my crit dart in. Come up, boys.
I will also... Remember how I had mentioned before that having companions also confers certain bonuses? So, Ilorin is going to activate the bonus that he confers to the party when he is amongst you, which is this. Skadoosh.
Okay.
Since Ilorin is a party member himself, then he's going to fire a longbow shot.
So who's using the reaction?
It's using his reaction. Oh no, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. It uses whoever's reaction is actually calling for the Overwatch. So
Okay.
So one of you could have done it, or he could have done it.
Shoot him, I'm dead.
Yeah, because Connor already used his reaction for
Use
defense.
my reaction as I die.
Now Hunter's mark damage. 2. And that is essentially 12. Aloran, seeing you fall, is going to make a pain shot. Pain because he is lamenting at your suffering, Wobbly. Of course. But the Manticore is relentless. He's going to charge at you now, Connor.
Oh,
With his next,
joy.
With his next claw attack.
Oi. That is a big hit. And I'm down to 4 hit points.
This is why
Not dead yet.
This is why they just advise staying at home and playing video games. Shit outside in the wild is freaking dangerous. It's definitely not as cool as the Monster Manual makes it sound, Connor.
No, I wouldn't say.
You are at 4 out of 20 though, so
So
Wobbly,
like 20%.
Smoke him if you got him.
Wobbly, I must ask that you make a death save, my good man.
Sure thing.
That
That's
is
a success.
That is a success. Marlo, you just saw your friend just get frickin' swatted like a fly. He is not down, but he is definitely bleeding.
yep. So we are going to pull out that nice little sheet of paper and tuck it into the back of his armor. Bonus action, not protection from good and evil. Shield of Faith
Swag.
to give Connor the +2 AC.
Thank
and
you.
Then we're gonna shift, down just a little bit again,
Going
and with our main action, trying to hit him with the Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast. Baja Blast. What is with these crits tonight? Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
okay. Right. I thought that was the Manticore having a crit.
Oh no. Manticore cast Eldritch Blast.
Hit him with the little silver zippy bro, and
It's gonna
right to the knob.
have you seen that gif of that cat with the Christmas like hat on? He's like he like keeps on is
Yes.
yeah, you seen it, right? You seen it, right? He has like a
Going,
he has, like,
going all over the place, going back and forth, trying to look at it.
yeah, he's trying to bat at it. Hold on, I can find it. Fuck it. Hold on. The game is now put on pause so I can find this one
For
gif.
cats.
Exactly.
Where are the cats?
I typed cat with Christmas hat on it, and one of the completed things was cat with chronic diarrhea. Jesus.
Ugh.
Okay, I can't find it. Whatever. I'm not gonna dwell too long on this, but I will find it in the future.
Alright, 1 second.
I also thought it was
Are,
funny.
are you guys gonna be drinking? No? Okay, I was like, I'll move to another room because you guys get loud when you drink.
Marlo, but that Eldritch Blast, I'll say. That Eldritch Blast. Yo, it's a fucking party at Scotty's house, dude.
That is pretty good.
Right?
Yep, I celebrated my crit with some, what is that, vodka?
Oops.
Nice.
I mean, that is the best way to celebrate a crit, honestly. But anyway, that Eldritch Blast is gonna whip around the Manticore's head wildly like a sort of laser pointer, and he's gonna swat at it to no avail, and it's gonna smack him right in the nose. Boop. Connor, the hour of destiny is upon you.
All right. I don't like how low my health just got. So you know what? I'm going to.
Good.
I don't really know what to. Yeah, I'm going to. I'm going to use lay on hands, and heal myself for 7 points of damage.
You're gonna catch these hands. You're gonna catch
Yes.
your own hands.
Catch my own hands. When I need healing, I touch myself.
And when I get that feeling, I need sexual healing.
All right. So I'm up to 11, over the halfway point. And I have nothing I can really do as a bonus action, I don't think. No, I cannot.
You're just gonna hold fast.
Yeah. I'm gonna see what he does.
All right. It is now Lauren's turn, so he's going to charge at the creature with both of his short swords drawn, stowing his long bow. All right, so main hand. He's still got the hunter's mark on him. So main hand, short sword. What is with these crits?
Oh my
Oh
God.
my goodness.
They are. The DM god saw how bad we were doing and decided, you know what, we're just gonna let him have this.
RNGesus is smiling upon us. But now it's time for the offhand, which is just the offhand is a melee weapon attack with and the damage has no strength mod. So that is just a single d6. So that's 2. For a total of 10, 15, another d6 because of Hunter's Mark.
Ay, ay, ay.
So that's 8, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. That's 23 damage.
Hooey.
Aloran, you're going to see Aloran hop up on the back of that Manticore, dazed from the Eldritch Blast that just smacked it right in the head. And you're going to see him drive both of his short swords in the back of its skull. And the Manticore is going to claw out in pain, like viciously, grasping at the air, and die at your feet, Connor.
Oh, wonderful. Huh. And I go to Lawrence like, I am certainly glad you found us out here. Like, oh shit. And with that, I will use my last 3 last 3 points of lay on hands, and I will heal Wobbly for 3 points.
Did I kill it?
You contributed.
You helped. You certainly helped.
It was the dart, wasn't it? The dart got him.
It was a factor. You know what?
Lawrence,
Because if your dart, it affected its eyes. It couldn't see very well, and that allowed Elorin to finish the job.
Lauren's going to say, well, it couldn't been. Jesus, Lauren can speak, unlike me. Lauren's gonna say, it couldn't have been done if not for your ingenious plan, gentlemen.
Yes.
Well, thank you.
Plan that went so well. Yes. That
Well, any
Well-
plan that involves us all living is well.
It goes without saying.
Mhm.
Plans are, in my experience, more of suggestions.
Yes. Now, Elorin, I know you refused any reward. Is there any part of the Manticore that you would like to take for yourself? Perhaps a trophy of some sort?
And he's going to say, well, I suppose I can take its tail. And he's going to sort of slowly saw it off with this short sword. And, pluck out the spikes to make it so that it is not as dangerous as it could be. And he's going to keep it.
All right, then. And I'm going to, with that, I will start to kind of lift it onto my shoulders, saying, all right, I think it's time to get this boy back to town, collect our reward.
Yes, I'm sure our employer will be pleased. The amount of groveling he was involved in seems to have paid off.
And Lauren's going to say, a groveling dwarf.
Yes, you don't see them very often, do you?
Well, I thought they were supposed to be prideful creatures.
Well, I suppose this one was just getting. I suppose our employer is quite desperate for the supplies for the journey ahead.
Have you ever heard a race describe themselves as not prideful?
No comment from Lauren. Alright. So you guys are going to drag that frickin' corpse right back to town. Like true Chads.
Yes. Now, Lauren, there's like you're trying to keep an air of secrecy around these parts, are you?
He says, indeed, which is why I will refrain from returning to the comforts of Grumberg.
Understood.
I will remain in this area. My offer still stands. Good hunt, though.
It was. We thank you for it. Ugh.
And Marlowe will hold out his hand and go, I would like to officially say the attempted arrow to my face is water under the bridge. We do appreciate your help.
And Lauren's gonna smile and say, there is no beast mighty enough for us, I'd say. We make a great team.
Appreciated. Who knows? Perhaps we could just lay greater in future days.
Indeed.
Well, I look forward to it, but for now, there's a town full of people wanting to see this thing's head mounted above a fireplace, and I believe Wobbly could use a drink.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you'll be drinking for free tonight, I promise you.
Alright. Wait, what happened?
Please. Drinks.
Alright, so it takes a fair amount of time, because the Manticore isn't a particularly light bit of cargo. But eventually, with the combined effort of you all, you manage to drag it back to Grumberg. Much to the incredible surprise of the nearby guard who, patrol the outskirts of the town, because it doesn't really have like a larger sort of wall. Like it's mainly like the only bit of protection, like big bit of protection that Grumberg has is the nearby castle, which overlooks and sees to its defense in times of conflict. But the people remark and like look on in abject surprise to see that the beast in the nearby hills has been slain. Some begin to start crowding around and say remarks of, like, basically sing your praises and make remarks of glory.
Well, I would like to make a mark to really praise Marlowe and Wobbly, as I consider them the true heroes of this hunt. Because I'll say I was more of just a meat shield. Honestly, they were the ones who truly slayed this terrible beast.
Yes, it was my dart that felled the foe.
Mm-hmm.
They
And Marlowe's
were-
magic was beyond anything I'd seen.
Yes, well, everyone played their part, as we all must do. As long as everyone does their best and is courageous, there is no obstacle that cannot be overcome.
Mm-hmm. Wise words.
The hold on, give me 1 second. Where is that? The I believe I called them the Disciples of the Flame. Yes, before.
Sounds correct.
I think so, yeah.
Yes, the Disciples of the Flame are going to come out in force with a series of torches, decorative torches, of course, to commemorate the deed. And they're going to also make remarks and make praises to Urzar, father of all dragons. They're going to say that clearly Urzar has blessed us with a member of his kin in this hour of darkness, because truly times are changing.
I do appreciate it, but Urzar truly was looking over these fine two gentlemen as his true champions.
It's like that scene in Samurai Jack when the Scotsman and him finish beating up all those Bayou robots, and the Scotsman's just like, no, I'll buy you a drink. And Jack's like, no, let me buy you a drink. I insist.
Mm-hmm.
That was a
We'll
good
buy
episode.
each other drinks.
Exactly. It's a fine episode. Anyway. There is much rejoicing, much celebration, and just before the Harvest Festival as well. Things seem to truly be looking up. There's a kind of there's a raising of spirits that you have not seen in many of the towns that you have passed by. People seem to be genuinely happy that this event has transpired, and nobody's more happy or happier than the dwarves, of course, who have lost a couple of kin to these manticores. And Doran is going to remark to you all that, gentlemen, you've truly done it again.
Well, I will say, kind of whispered to our employer, like, well, I can't say we did it ourselves. We had a friend assist us with this.
He's going to say, oh, the wood elf. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
He seems to be a trustworthy ally.
well then, perhaps
With
this...
agreement.
Oh yeah, he says, well then, perhaps we have a shared interest in this case. Us and this wood elf fellow. If our goals are, albeit somewhat opportunistic, at least good, then perhaps it is best to keep him on our good side. Or at least keep him within earshot.
I agree. But that'll be something to think about, ponder another time. I say now is the time to celebrate, don't you think?
He says, indeed.
Well, you guys are partaking your ales and whatnot. I'll just get water, iced water.
What's it? Connor and Fence popsicles.
Mm-hmm. Delicious.
What's the flavor? Nothing. It's just water.
Yee.
Just a block of, just a fucking piece of ice on a stick.
Just
What's the
crunchy
flavor?
water.
Cold.
Cold damage. It hurts you. Amazing.
I get brain freeze.
Oh, excuse me. All right. But yes, no, the celebration shall continue from the time you brought it, back, which is the middle of the afternoon, into the night. It will also begin the harvest festival festivities. The festival festivities, yeah. What I said. I said what I said. But anyway, there is
I will
much
say to
merriment.
my
Oh yeah, go on.
yeah, I was going to say, like, I will say to my companions, like, this, gentlemen, this is truly what I love to do. It's not enough to do to. It's not enough to help. It's I want to do good in this world, and what we did here was good work.
Yes. Well, it does seem to have raised the spirits of this otherwise gloomy little hamlet.
Hmm.
I've not seen this many smiles since I first came to this land. Which I'm not sure is a mark of happiness for this event or overall depressing, but it is what it is.
Well, hopefully we can spread the smiles across many more lands.
That I can drink to. I propose a toast, but it seems your mug is full of ice.
Yeah, it's all right. I'll just like kind of just bite out a chunk of it, to crunch it up.
Oh, excuse me. Anyway. Alright, so. Doran's going to come at you. Well, he's going to meet you guys at a nearby festivities table. You know, they brought out a couple of benches and chairs and whatnot for people to sit down while, pipers and other bards account tales of valor and glory and whatnot. Across the land, the realms of man. Tales of Urzar and tales of the founding of the Five Kingdoms. Five, right? Yeah, there's five. Hold on. Let me confirm. Hold on. Let me what's the word? Let me consult my sources. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I guess it's technically five. Yeah, it's five. They're going to speak of the good name of the previous Marcher Lords because they're not referencing the name of. Well, you notice that they're not referencing the name of Martin Olker anywhere in their praises. But they're going to be speaking on the praises of the previous families of Geloi. Going down each of them by name and speaking of the great deeds that they've done and accounting on the reasons why they've been placed in a place that they call Marcher's Rest. And they're also going to be speaking very specifically on a very important event. And again, basically, this is the event that they saved the best for last, I should say. Hold on, let me get the very specific name. Hold on, 17. Ah, here we go. They're going to speak of a Lord Alistair Bradley, in a very bombastic sort of song with drums and pipes and lutes and whatnot. A very melodic tune about this. Based on the song itself, you can deduce that Lord Alistair was some sort of a very important figure in this land's history.
Well, everyone's having their festivities, whatnot. I'll just be like listening intently on the performances.
In that case, I will tell you what they speak about in full, without going into such insane detail as to bore you.
Okay.
So, in this song, it speaks of a brave man, clad in glistening armor, blessed with the finest of a heritage that has granted him incredible strength, wit, and charm, Lord Alistair Bradley. And in his tenure as being one of the greatest and noblest of knights in Geloi, he slew the raging Faramnatrax, a red dragon who had been terrorizing Geloi for how many moons is that? For 60 moons. There we go. Wait, when they say moon, do they mean cycle of the moon or every time you see the moon? That's I feel like that's a good question.
I think it's every time you see the moon, unless it's like specified. Like, I don't know. It's weird.
Basically 2 months.
He slew the dragon 2 months ago?
Not 2 months ago. No, this was over 100 years ago.
Oh, for 2 months. Oh, okay, now I get it.
Yeah, the dragon had been burning down and eating people for over 2 months. But this brave Lord Alistair Bradley, he took up the legendary blade that he is now known for, called the Fangbiter, and slew it dead.
Mark of a true leader. Getting things done himself, not cowering behind the courage of others.
Yes. His dear and selfless act costed him his life, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
Yep. But he will be forever known as the greatest hero in all of Geloi.
And in death, he shall be immortal.
While this is going on, Doran's just fast asleep, and you like see next to him like freaking 10 flagons of, well, empty flagons of ale.
I look over and said, I never knew someone could drink so much more than their weight.
It is very obviously that, well, it's very obvious, excuse me, that he's well saturated in spirits and food because his stomach is well descended, excuse me. And he is basically foaming at the mouth, and caught in his beard are just nothing but food particles, both wet and dry.
Yeah.
At least he's having a good time, though. But if that will be all, unless you guys want to do anything else in particular for the festivities, people are beginning to pack up and retiring to their abodes. Oh, excuse me.
I will give, what is it? I'm just wondering what I have. Hold on a second. Sorry.
No
So
worries.
I'm guessing there's like a good, like a bardic troop of like 3 or 4?
Yes.
Okay, if it's 3, I'll give him like 5. I'm going to give them 5 silver each, just like a little tip for their services.
Hell yeah. They are down for earning money.
Mm-hmm.
So they will gladly take it.
And I'm down to 3 gold.
Up.
Who do we lose?
Tim has died.
Oh god, he's gone forever. He was too poor. Never mind, he's back.
My phone keeps cutting out.
No worries.
But our reward for this job is just the supplies for our travels.
Yeah, your internet provider noticed how much gold you were down to and just cut it out. Like, just they already knew that you probably couldn't make the payment.
Okay.
I'm just messing with you. But anyway, I'm sorry. What'd you say?
What did I say?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that was just a question that we didn't get any gold for the mission. We just got the supplies for the travels.
Oh, well, I mean, Doran would have told you that the gold reward is with the Lord of the Land. So if you want to, if you want to essentially collect a reward, you have to go to Lord Bruckthorn in his castle.
Okay, but it's a bit late now. I'm assuming he would probably be around sometime tomorrow morning. So I'd probably like to, if I'm going to go get a reward, I'd probably go like before the festival gets started proper.
Oh, so you would want to do it in the same day?
I think so. Yeah, like to get up at the crack of dawn just before everything gets started.
Oh no, the I might be getting the continuity slightly wrong, but the festivities happened immediately after you return.
Okay, I thought it was the next day.
I honestly might
Okay.
be getting the continuity slightly wrong, but it was either the same day or just the day after. I mean, I don't think it really matters. I mean, I suppose you could, I mean, if it really matters, I suppose you could just like go the day after.
No, I mean like yeah, no, it doesn't matter. No.
Okay, fair enough. Just making sure, because like sometimes as I do struggle sometimes to get continuity correct, and continuity is important, lest anybody get
Look,
confused.
yeah, you're trying your best. That's all that matters.
Fantastic. All right, but I mean that wraps up. Doran's going to get the horses ready. He's going to get his free shit, his glorious free shit,
Mm.
and he's going to be eagerly awaiting a return because he's very very eager to get this show on the road.
Have we rested at this point?
Absolutely.
Okay. I am back to full health.
Good.
And I'll also say that you each gain 175 XP
Okay. So
for slaying.
time to get my calculator out for that.
Oh yeah, for slaying the ferocious beast.
Right, so we should be at 632.
Indeed.
Right. Well, while Dorn is getting the supplies, I will go to the Lord of the town to collect the bounty that was on the Manticore's head.
All right. Hold on. Where is it? There we go. Okay, so right now you are heading to the castle that is marked on the map as marker 18, which
Mhm.
is Castle Bruckthorn, as it says on your map.
Yeah. Well, I mean, before I leave, I will, notify Marlowe and Bobbly if they want to come along.
Sure.
Yes, yeah, of course.
The gang's all here.
Gang's all here. It only takes about how far is it? It only takes about like 2 hours if you were to go at semi-minimal speed.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
got the head of the Manticore like on a hook, Witcher style, on the back of on the back of Roach or whatever.
Nice.
Roach is just like fucking glitching like a storm every time you accidentally collide with a fucking with a fence or a tree or whatever.
You just find them on top of a house.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Connor,
I
you
love
fu-
how in
Yeah, go on.
Gwent they just on his card Roach is just on top of a house.
Really?
Yeah,
That is funny.
You never knew that.
and then in the animated one he just disappears and reappears on different stuff.
That is pretty funny. Hold
Nice.
on. I want to see that. I want to see that. I want to see that card. God damn it! Hold on. Wow, that's true. It is true. I see this card now. He's on top of a house.
Yep.
And Geralt's just like, how the fuck do you get up there? That's awesome.
He's the best horse.
Excellent horse.
The best, most immortal. Wait, is he immortal? No, is he? He dies, right? He can die, right?
I think he just runs if he gets damaged or scared. I think he runs away,
Okay, fair enough. But
and then you
anyways,
have to whistle him back, and he won't come back for a while.
Connor, you find yourself 100 feet in the air after trying to step over a rock. You know, clip in the area where Wizards of the Coast are testing their new content. All right, that's enough. That's enough shitty game design puns. All right. So you happen upon Castle Bruckthorn, a resplendently built Arthurian-style castle tucked on the very top of a very small. It's not quite a hill, but it's definitely not quite a mountain. I'd say it's a bit of a craggy area with
A mound?
Oh yeah. That's a fair way to describe it. It is definitely jagged in some areas, but there is a lovely set of stairs that lead up to an area where you can descend upward into the small bridge that leads you to the castle proper. The guards on the walls will halt you before proceeding and yell, "Aye, who goes there?"
The slayers of your beast. As I present the manticore head.
And the guard is going to say, "Ooh," and he's going to yell for the. There's a designated person who does that. I just can't remember his name, but he just designates for the guy who opens the gate to open the gate.
Okay.
And he allows you all to enter into the courtyard proper for Castle Bruckthorn. And the man who had just let you in, he's going to sort of he's going to blare his horn that he keeps on his side. And a small troop of knights are going to come out from a large set of wooden doors, just beautifully carved wooden doors that lead what you can only assume into the main keep. And they're going to approach you and say, "So, this is the manticore that has been causing such havoc on our fair town, is it?"
Yes, and I put mine to my companions like in quite a bit on us as well. It was not an easy fight, to say the least.
Give me 1 second. You're going to recognize the knight that you had shoved wobbly, Sir Glenn.
Hmm.
He's going to say, "Ah, I remember you all. Did you ever find that rapscallion who had besmirched mine honor?"
No, I don't think we did. I'm sorry to say.
I think at this point he probably would have skipped town, honestly.
I will search this world far and wide for that cruel bastard. I will reclaim my honor. I will make an oath on all the gods in this world.
I mean, from what I heard, he kind of just bumped into you. Like, is it really that big a deal? That's what they were saying at the bar, at least.
He says no one bumps into Sir Glenn and lives to tell the tale.
Oh, no one bumps into Sir Glenn and lives to tell the tale, Wobbly.
Well, that's, must be very nimble.
Indeed. I will spend much of the rest of my life training for the epic confrontation for which I will finally slay that bastard.
Yeah, good luck with that.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Sounds like you have a worthy cause to devote your entire life to.
It's good to have a goal in life.
Yes, especially one as purposeful as that. Killing the guy that bumped into you.
You might even say that you've improved this guy's life, Wobbly.
Yeah.
By giving it further purpose.
Given him purpose.
Yeah.
He was getting ready to quit the force.
Exactly.
Retire.
He was just
Know what to
waiting.
do with his
He was
life.
just waiting for some guy to bump into him so he could just fucking cut his head off. Jeez. Everybody's just like rubbing their foreheads, feel like, oh god, it's fucking Sir Glenn. Like, oh my goodness.
I'll look to one of the other guards like, has he been on this for a while now?
He says, Sir Glenn doesn't have much to live for.
Oh. Quite sad.
Lady Deborah took the kids, something like that.
Karen
Mm,
took the kids. Oh god, that's crazy. Alright. But at any rate, the knights will invite you all into the halls of Lord Bruckthorn so he may see his quarry for himself, and know that you have slain it.
Yeah, sure.
They lead you inside. Inside you find a beautifully resplendent hall, of course. I use the word resplendent often because it is the best way to describe your current situation.
3 syllables. It's good.
Yeah, it's a very good one. Stained glass depicting the deeds of some of the more hallowed knights who have existed within this castle. The first of the Bruckthorns, and then everyone that's been after that, the deeds that he has done, as well as some of the great companions of those Bruckthorns.
Yeah. So like it's all paintings. Is there anything like in particular that might stand out? It's just like
There is,
regular scenes of battle.
there is a, well, I'll tell you, there's one that depicts one of the Lord Bruckthorns. You can only assume, I mean, you can easily assume based because like on the bottom of the stained glass sort of window, it actually has their name. So there's one that says Arthur Bruckthorn, which is the first of them, who you see him on top of a mound of what looks to be like the corpses of orcs, and he's got the head of one of the orcs in his hand and a sword in the other one, and he's sort of like posing towards the heavens as a beam of sunlight cascades down on his body.
Mm.
The one I'd say that, I mean, there's like it's kind of like you said, scenes of battle, like other sort of things. Like one of them is just like kneeling before like a statue of like some sort of merciful looking maiden, and the maiden's casting rays of light onto him and stuff like that. But the one that does sort of stick out the most is the most recent Bruckthorn, and you can only assume because they. I mean, again, because it starts from the end of the hall going forward towards the actual throne. Uh, it's I almost said Kevin Bruckthorn. Oh my god, Kevin, but no. Um, it's Antonius Bruckthorn. He is being bathed in a sea of burning flames that is being projected from an image of a red dragon. And but like there's a scene of him like garbing a bunch of like they're purposely depicted as being like sort of poor and destitute. So like he's basically shielding them with his body,
Mm.
which is what it's trying to depict. While he is being like sort of awash, while he is awash with like flames, the poor and destitute looking people are protected.
A man of sacrifice.
Perhaps, yes.
Say Antonius was his name.
Yes, Antonius.
Okay.
But the knights will come up to you see at the end of a feasting hall, because it's basically just like the throne room and where they sit down to feast, basically built into one, kind of like Jarl Balgruuf's his bachelor pad.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of it, you see a man who looks very unknightly, very worn. His clothes are sort of unkempt. He's like sort of kneeling on. He has a sort of a chin on his fist. He's sort of like kneeling into it, and you see that his hand is making several like rapid repeating movements. The hand that is sort of like resting on the armrest of his throne, while the other holds up his head, is making several rapid repeating movements.
Well, as we're approaching him, I'll look to my companions like, what do we? I've never met like royalty or anything like this before. Do we bow? Do we nod? Like, what do we refer to him as?
You are asking the wrong guy. Take a huge swig of my flask.
Yeah, I
Marlo?
mean, this guy is like a lord, right?
Yes.
All right. So Marlo will do the whole thing where, much like the scene from The Witcher when they have to teach Geralt how to bow, we'll just do like hand to chest, extend the other one like this. This foot goes backwards. Bow briefly. His title is Lord.
Okay,
So he's not your lord, so you won't say my lord, but you'll say Lord Bruckthorn.
Lord Bruckthorn. Okay,
And
so
we
hand
have
the chest, other out, like 60 degrees.
like he'll give him a demonstration a few times, and
Okay,
then we'll go. And just remember, we did provide him a service, so we don't have to be too differential as long as we were respectful of his position.
right. Gotcha. Didn't want to make a fool of myself.
All right. So. The knights will say, Gentlemen, you stand before the hallowed Lord Christopher Bruckthorn. Please pay your respects, and they'll all basically do the same thing, or a version of the same thing that Marlo had talked about. Some of them will actually kneel before them with their swords, like in front, in a sort of salute.
All right, I won't. Yeah, I won't go deep, but I will, like, enough to pay my respects.
But
I do it, but I definitely half-ass it.
that is fair enough.
Marlo does it with like a fair bit of fluidity and grace.
So normally you're supposed to allow the Lord to sort of dismiss your bows, essentially by saying, like, oh, well met, travelers, or some things of the like. But a lot of the knights are just sort of like kneeling without moving, awaiting his order. One of them at the front, there's about three of them, there's three of them. One of them sort of picks up his head and he remarks at him, my lord, Lord Bruckthorn, and because it very does seem like Lord Bruckthorn's not paying attention. He ceases his like sort of rapid clawing movements on his of his left hand, and he sort of closes his eyes and he says, and you just see him stretch on his throne and put both hands in his lap, and he's going to call out to one of his servants and yell, "Wine!" The knight that sort of picked up to sort of address him sort of hurries up to the servant before the servant comes to pour him any more drinks, because you can actually tell that at his feet there are a bunch of goblets that have been thrown to the ground, or they've probably just dropped, or whichever, that have had drink in them before. You can tell, again, because there's a bit of drink that's sort of like spilled out from him. The knight's going to just sort of stop the servant from doing his job for a second, and you're going to see him whispering to Lord Bruckthorn. If any of you want to try to deduce what he's saying, that's a perception check, but he's whispering.
Sure, let's perception check real quick. Oh, yep, there it is.
I'll help you here.
That is a nat 1 after your nat 20, I believe, right?
That's how it works for me.
At least it's not
No.
the inverse.
Mm-hmm.
What is with
Oh,
these
two nat ones. Wonderful.
What is with these gnats tonight? Amazing.
It happens.
Now I'm distracted by a bird that's like flying outside. Like, oh, pretty.
Amazing. But Wobbly, you can hear him. You can hear him basically saying like, fucking get your shit together. Come on, you got guests. That's basically what he's saying to him. He's like, my lord, this is not couth behavior. And Lord Brockthorn's going to sort of shoo him away and say, yes, what have you brought for me?
Lord Brockthorn, my name is Connor, this is Wobbly and Marlowe. We heard tale of a manticore plaguing your lands, and we have brought you his head. At least I assume it was a he. I did not bother to check. Oh, I thought I disconnected again.
No worries. Lord Brockthorn's going to take a good look at you, and he's going to take a look at the head. And you're just going to see his face start to scrunch up into like a very bitter frown, and he's going to bury his thumb and index finger into either both of his eyes and sort of rub them. And he's going to say, I suppose you'll be wanting your reward then.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
We heard talk that there was a reward.
He says, yes, indeed, there is. He says, servant, fetch them their reward. And the servant's going to bring out a series of coin purses. And he's going to bring out three, he's going to bring out four, but one of them is actually a lot larger than the other. As I promised to all those within Grumberg, the reward for slaying the beast is 7 gold. For each.
That's like for each?
Yes, for each.
Connor is initially kind of like surprised at how relatively little that is, but he isn't one to look a gift horse in the mouth or be rude or anything. So I'll just kind of like share a little, like over my shoulder, just like a little glance at my companion, just like, seriously? Thank you, Lord Brockthorn, for your patronage.
He's going to say, and a piece from my storeroom of acquired magical curios.
Okay, now a smile kind of comes to my face, like, oh, okay, never mind. This is good.
Oh, excuse me. He's going to wait for you to take it from the larger bag that he's giving you.
Okay.
It is a talisman. It is a golden talisman with what looks to be a sort of a ruby, a heart cut from a ruby in the center of it.
This is quite good workmanship. What may I ask? What does this talisman do?
He says, quite useful for those who put themselves in danger, much like you have done in the destruction of this grave threat to my people. If you were to fall in battle, it shall revive you. It'll bring you to the most minuscule of statuses beforehand, though, but you'll be alive.
Well, I do like being alive. Thank you, Lord Brockthorn. And may your lands stay pleasant and peaceful for the rest of your days.
He sort of just goes back to sitting down on his throne, and he yells for his servant to bring him wine. And
Hey man, are you alright? You seem a little out of it. My lord, are you alright?
my lord. He says, I just need my wine.
I feel you there, buddy.
So long as I have my wine, all is right in the world. And he's just going to return to that extremely repetitive sort of scratching movement that he's making on his throne with his other hand.
I looked at my companion and say, okay, I suppose that is cue for us to take our leave.
Yeah, Marlowe will do a little bow to sort of dismiss himself, and then wait for the others to start walking out as well.
I do it and stumble and back.
One of the knights, he'll say, come with me, I shall escort you out.
Thank you. I'm just going to say, so yeah, I put the talisman in my inventory. I'm just calling it talisman of emergency.
Well, I mean, it's specifically called the Talisman of Mercy. I'll put the exact
Okay.
description in the.
Emergency has all the letters of mercy.
I'll put it in the chat.
Cool.
But alright, so the Talisman of Mercy. Upon taking damage that would bring the wearer down to 0 HP, they're instead brought to 1. This works only if the attack which would have knocked the wearer unconscious did not deal massive damage and was not magical. The talisman works for one use. After its use, the ruby within the golden heart shatters, and the item becomes mundane. It becomes basically a regular golden necklace.
Okay. Well, look to Wobbly and Marlowe. Say, well, I would have to say that I'm hardier than the two of you. So, if one of you would like to take the talisman, sort amongst yourselves.
Marlo, why don't you take it? Because you can get people up if they fall down, right? I don't really have anything that can do that. Or do you?
No, that's magic that I do not yet possess.
I just assumed with all the fancy lights and stuff. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Well, I am quite averse to the thought of taking harm in the first place and go to great lengths to avoid it. You, well, both of you, on the other hand, not so much.
I was faking it in the cave earlier, right? Like, I didn't really, like, pass out and almost die.
Yes, you were quite convincing, I must say.
Yeah, I was gonna jump him when he least expected it, but he died to my dart. He just fell over.
As a master of both illusion and misdirection, I was thoroughly fooled. Well done.
Thank you, thank you. But I'll hold on to it, I guess. I mean, if no one else wants it, I guess I'll take it. I guess. I mean, I don't need it or anything. Wobbly snatches it out of Connor's hand and quickly stuffs it in his pocket.
Well, I'll look to the guard that's walking us out and say, like, so your lord, he has a fondness for wine, does he?
He says, he's gonna just basically like stop moving, and you're gonna hear his gauntlet sort of violently shake as he angrily clenches a fist. He's going to say, "Oh yes, he's got a penchant for wine indeed, and not much else." And his outburst is, he's gonna yell that like pretty loud.
Ooh.
All the fondness and none of the fun. Jeez, he seemed like a huge down man.
And your outburst in his court makes me seem as though he's lost the respect of not only his knights, but they do not even fear him.
He says, excuse me. There was never no need for fear. Lord Bruckthorn is, well, he was truly one of the greatest knights in this land. It was ever since Martin Olka came to power. He was one of the first to defy his unjustified rise to the Marcher throne. And for that, well, for that, Lord Olka took his wife hostage.
Oh.
We have never seen her ever since that day.
He does have the air of sorrowful drinking about him, the kind I've seen with people who have suffered great loss.
He truly believes that there is nothing that can be done. We have no idea as to the status of Mrs. Brockthorn. We do not know
Have
if she is
you
alive or dead or in any other status between. He believes well and truly that she is gone forever.
then what is to stop him from
From
shirking the rule? Surely she would be taken as leverage.
Um, you're saying what's stopping him from just opposing him, or stopping him from standing
Yeah,
down?
pretty
Oh,
much.
oh, okay.
Because if you kill somebody's wife, they want revenge. If you take somebody's wife, generally they are too afraid to oppose you.
He says, "Oh, I do not know. Perhaps, perhaps there was not much behind Lord Bruckthorn's air of nobility. Perhaps the only true thing that he had in this world, the only thing that he truly valued was that woman. Perhaps that is how it is for most people. All it takes is just one tragedy, and they become a shell of their former selves."
You won't truly know until it happens. As I can't say I mourn, but I feel for your frustrations in leadership. Does he have any children or anything that could take his place?
He says, "No, Lord Bruckthorn, well, he works very often at his job, protecting the town. Normally, the Manticore issue would have not lasted more than a week. His responsibilities were not things that he would normally shirk, and he diligently overlooked the lands around him. So much so that he neglected his, well, he neglected his duty to his own lineage. Quite unfortunate, but he truly believed that he was invincible for a time. Back then he was fairly young. Now, it has been long since Anastasia has been spirited away by that monster. It seems that there's nothing really we can do."
And does Ulker often spirit away individuals?
He says, "Indeed. If they are threats to his rule, you can find yourself disappearing, or anyone else for that matter."
Does he have a dungeon, a prison, or does he simply bury them?
He says, well, it could be anything. Lord Buckthorn has absolutely forbade us from coming anywhere near Morthelm, or anywhere near Martin Orca for that matter. He says that if she does still live, then, well, any chance that we may take to retrieve her, he may simply dispatch of her, or dispose of her, excuse me.
Hmm.
Then again, if he will, we always say, well, we are quite afraid to admit it, for we fear that it may truly break him. If there is any hope that she may be still alive, which we highly doubt, and I truly believe that he believes that there is no hope, then I say we should have gotten after him a long time ago. But, again, maybe it doesn't take much to break a man.
We may and may not have an audience with with Ulfric. If we do, if we find evidence of his wife's, survival, do you think that would get him out of a funk? Do you think he would go fight for her? Or...
He says, well, with some convincing, and with such knowledge in tow, I'd say it is well worth a try. If I may speak truthfully, and he's going to sort of look around, and he's going to make to speak at first. He's going to say, no, let us go to a more secluded area. And he's going to bring you guys to the dungeons inside, the dungeons in Castle Bruckthorn itself. Into the sort of guard, like little guard room where they keep, like, the manacles and whatnot, and other torture devices. He's going to.
It's very dark down there. Like, stop my toe.
Exactly. He's going to say, let me see. He's going to say, don't tell anyone this. Well, at least don't speak it to the peasantry or any other people that you may not trust. But I have a very strong reason to believe, that the true heir to the throne does live. I believe his name is Mattias Gelloy.
And
Yeah, go on.
there are people who are loyal to him.
And he says, yes, I believe, perhaps, yes. I know there are people within, or there are knights within Castle Bruckthorn who would much rather see their lord return to his previous prime fighting glory than this wallowing bag of self-pity that sits on that throne. And if that means dispatching of Ulka, then I'm sure many of them would fight with anybody who would seek his demise.
Mm-hmm. What is your name, friend?
He is, Jesus. I saw a meme about this. About fucking... It's like this... It's like basically this, the DM's like this depicted as being like this scrumpled up face. It's like whoever asks the question, like, oh, what's his name? Like, no, his name is,
Jeff.
His name is Sir Jeff. Man. Sir, Sir NyQuil. No, anyway. No, his name is, I'm just gonna rip something straight from, I think this is from our Arthurian. His name is Sir Gawain.
Sir Gawain.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's Arthurian. Whatever.
Gawain. I'll be sure to keep that name in mind.
He's going to tell you, there are many within the marches of Gello who would rather see Lord Olga hanging from the rafters. I don't know if rafters even are invented in this time period. Whatever. Hanging from the ramparts. There we go.
Well, from what I've seen, people are broken and a revolution is quite a ways off. But your lord doesn't seem to care much what goes on in his lands anymore. I see no reason why you and your fellow knights could not take it upon yourself to do some good.
He's going to say, indeed, you are right. He's going to say, listen, we must busy ourselves with making sure that it doesn't seem particularly suspicious. For us, anyway. I have no doubt that Ulka would burn Grunberg if he knew that its leadership were conspiring against him. So, if and you meet this Mattias fellow, this Mattias Gelloy, know that he has the allegiance of the Knights of Castle Bruckthorn. Know that he may, if he is out there, come to us if he is in need of protection or a place to hide, etc. I've only heard it in stories, but I believe there is hope for Gelloy, and that hope lies with him.
Hmm.
You may be right, but sometimes stories are just stories. If you keep dreaming, nothing will ever change. You have to be the change that you want to see in the world.
And he says,
Those are good words.
I like those words you said there. No. He's going to say, yes, but I fear that only the blood of the noble Gelloy line can truly set this land right again. I fear for more Martin Ulkers, for more cruelty and bloodshed, for more conspiracy and betrayal. It has happened before. It will happen again, unless someone who has the right heart ascends to the Marcher throne. This land has known much war and death. I believe it has one chance.
You know, the problem that I've seen in this land is that whenever something goes wrong, everyone complains and cries about how terrible Ulker is and how he's such a tyrant. But maybe if more people stopped looking to the throne and started looking to their neighbors and their towns, they could do a little bit of good there. And maybe if enough people started to find hope, then you could look towards the throne.
Raising each other up. Everyone is stronger together than alone.
He says, you speak wise words. Perhaps we should put you on that throne. And he starts to laugh.
He chuckles and Marlowe goes, I have no need for a throne. I intend on seeing all the lands of this world, not just this one.
There will be many thrones, but none of them are mine.
Pretty much. I will gaze upon many thrones and I will sit in none.
Alright, so he leaves you with that, you know. Feel free to, if you ever come across this fellow, to let them know that Castle Bruckthorn is willing to fan the flames of revolution, but he's going to let you go, and you guys will set off back to Grumberg unless you have anything else to do in Castle Bruckthorn.
Nope, I'm good.
Don't think so.
Alright, fantastic. In that case, I'd say that is the and yeah, that's the conclusion of session 5.
All right then.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I think we've covered all the most amazing aspects of Dungeons and Dragons. There was glorious RP, a genuinely quite how should I say, quite
Challenging.
quite the harrowing experience in the cave. Very well conceived plans to make the CR not well beyond which you are capable of dealing with.
Yeah, I was scared for a bit, so thank you for putting in Lauren there.
Yes. I mean that was one of the ways I was going to showcase the way that we were going to handle the companions, because they are useful when depending on what you're trying to do.
So like companions are like NPCs, but if we fight with them, they have their own special ability.
Yes, in Lauren's case, it was Overwatch.
That is cool.
You may find more in the world, and they may have special abilities of their own. But for now, you have Lauren as a potential companion.
Okay.
All right, with that, thank you so much. Excuse me. Thank you so much for playing, gentlemen. I hope you had a lot of fun.
Well, thank you for having
Thanks
us. I
for
had
the
a great
game.
time.
Thank you.
Y'all have a
Right.
good night.
Jesus
All right.
See ya.
See you on, guys.
and
Bye.
see you all, fair audience. Goodbye.